What up? Welcome back to Cool Kid TCG. We out here. We have Purple Luffy versus BY Luffy. Interesting matchup I've never played before. Also, shouts out my friend Adrian for hooking it up with a cool map. We got Rengoku, the boy Rengoku. Always loved my boy. But yeah, I don't know how this matchup goes. I've heard it's favored for me, but I don't know why. I would love to know why, if anyone could chime in. I think part of it's because you could put Big Mom, you could put things face up on life, and that could mess with them. Here, I'm just testing the glare. We're good to go on the glare. This is on the streamer table. We're at Tabletop Tavern, so this is the top table, round one. But still top table, so that's cool. Playing my friend James. We lost a dice roll, so we're going second. We're going to start off with a Lost Searcher. Unfortunately, to the bottom deck, 2 Gum Gum Giants, but we're going to get a 2K Sanji. Soba Mask, and we're gonna pass. My friend James, yeah, he plays BY. He plays a lot of good decks, but he starts off with an 8K swing. We're gonna give him the 2 2Ks. Now we go to our forward on turn. We can ramp to 5. We have a Songoro in hand, so we do have a 5 Dawn play. We're going to ramp. I'm trying not to swing. I'm wondering if I should try to rush him down or something along those lines. We play the kid blocker out. Ideal's going second curve so far. But yeah, we're gonna just keep filling up our board and kind of not like really go for it until we have a bigger board. He draws the Rocket Luffy, the Egghead Luffy. He swings a big I want to say like 9 at life. We're just going to take that. But yeah, we have the kid blocker. So if we Luffy Taro now, we can get that Dawn back, which is ideal. I feel good about the fact that we have a kid blocker, as well as we're about to Luffy Taro into Songoro, because that puts everything's a 5 cost with the exception of Law. That puts us out of range of that Egghead Luffy. We do the play, like I said, Luffy Taro into Songoro. We pass. We don't want to start the fire yet. Give him a feel for the fire yet. The only thing he can pop with his Luffy Taro at this time without cost reduction is the Law, which I feel okay about that. So we're going to continue just building our board. We might swing the Sanji next turn, or the Songoro next turn, so that way we can get some value and draw a card. He swings 7 at life, 7 at life. We're going to block and then 2K. Now he plays he plays Punch Luffy, starter deck Luffy. He does not activate effects, so he does not buff it to 8K and take a life as well, or put a life in the trash and draw a card. He does not do that, which some BY players will do immediately. We're going to swing the 6 just to draw a card. Waiting on the trigger. And it's an unfortunate trigger for us because I believe it is Kingdom Come, Raigo, whatever. I forget the name of it. Yep. And he's going to get rid of our kid blocker. That's unfortunate. Maybe we should have done our play before that, because I was thinking about, I believe, playing something that could return a Dawn. Maybe the Sanji, Rush Sanji. We're swing 5 life. The reason being here is I feel like he kind of has to respect it because of our board. And we could bring something down Rush and put him in a really tough spot. So let's just swing the 5 and not leave anything vulnerable to be swung into. We're not going to swing the Luffy Taro this turn, but just get a 1K out of hand. And it worked out pretty well there. Thinking about what to do. We have Hitokiri Kamazo in hand. We have a Nico Robin blocker. And we have the big boy Luffy. So we're just going to play down the big boy and no effect, because we're not going to... I don't want to swing him. I could use the effect just to draw, but I didn't. So actually, maybe that would have been a good play, because I believe I'm at 9 Dawn. I was at 9 Dawn. I returned 1, so I would be at 8. I would get my Dawn back. Yeah, that probably was a misplay right there. I probably should have just activated the effect, not done Rush, and then still drawn a card. He activates the Punch Luffy now. It's at 8K power. 1 card goes to the trash, and he draws a card. That 8K power will stay until the end of my turn, I believe. Maybe it's the start of his turn. I forget the exact wording. It doesn't play too much into effect because I'm not running Gear 5 Luffy. when it comes to the end turn, beginning of turn things. He swings 5 at life. And I believe I'm going to give him a 1K. I'm thinking about which 1K to give him. Give him the Nico Robin blocker. The reason I keep the Bonk live is maybe I can copy a Gecko later, but I just give up the Bonk anyways. That was my thought process over the Nico Robin. Here he plays Shirahoshi blocker, which I believe minuses 3, and he then activates the Egghead Luffy to pop it and draw a card. So good play on his part. He established a blocker as well as removed one of the bigger bodies on my board. I'm just clarifying, he's still at 8K. We're at 10 Dawn right now. Our hand's kind of thin. We have an Usohachi, a Gum Gum Giant, and a Sanji, I believe. Thinking about what to do. I want to swing this Sanji, but I don't know where I want the swing to go. And he has to, he's a 5K leader. He has to respect our swings because we have some big bodies. He has a lot of cards in hand. I believe he has 7 or 8. So I don't think we can go for a game. But looking at the state right now, maybe this would have been a good time to put pressure on. He does have a blocker. So I'm thinking about what to do. I could play the Usohachi to rest it. But yeah, that's the only way we have to get rid of that Shirahoshi blocker right now. I could Dawn up and swing big into the Luffy, but again, he can just block. I end up going here with a Luffy Taro, a play, tap 7, -1 into Usohachi to rest the Shirahoshi. Now we can swing the Law Blocker into it. I like this play. It's kind of weird to... we're not going for game. We played the Usohachi. We're not going for game. Here I make a mistake, but it's just a counting mistake because I thought I tapped 7 and returned 1. So because I wanted to keep 1 active, but I realized that doesn't make sense because I played 7. So I'm just clarifying. The original intent was to swing to keep 1 up. So yeah, we swing 7 into life. He gives us the 2K, 1K. I'm thinking about whether to swing the 10 into life. But if I do, he's just going to take and can easily leader ability. I kind of want him to have to play like a Flampe or something along those lines. I end up swinging into the Luffy Taro, 10 into 8. Let's just get that off the board so we can't swing. He can probably bring that back, and we're just feeding his trash a little bit. But yeah, I like that play. We're kind of trying to get the cards out of his hand so that when we do go for game, we can get it. He swings his Garp into my Law Blocker easily. We'll give that. See, this is he plays his Flampe out so he can awaken his leader effect. He also cannot Gecko this turn because I believe he's at 9 Dawn. And he just played 1 down. And even if he was at 10 Dawn, because the fact that he had to play the Flampe, he can't Gecko because he has to give the 2 Dawn to the leader. He gives 2 Dawn here so he can start the cyclicalness of BY Luffy. He's going to eventually put 2 Sabos from his trash. Here he's searching. I'm not sure if he has it right now, or yeah, he grabs another Punch Luffy, another starter deck Luffy. I don't know the correct name for it. Putasso Luffy, I believe that's Punch. But yeah, he's grabbing the 2 Sabos out of the trash, which is the most defensive play. It's the play. You can just recycle Sabos. He's thinking it through. I'm sure he's making sure he gets the exact order of everything going. We don't have that many cards in hand, but we do have a Gum Gum Giant and 1 Dawn standing. The main reason we kept that alive is because I want to be able to protect my 10 cost Luffy. Anything else, we have to take life or let that Sanji die. That's okay, but I really want to protect that Luffy as best I can. So here we go. There's the 2 Sabos. He's going to play out 2 baby Sabos. This is the Moria we have at home. But here we go. He does his Sabo effect twice. Draw 2, trash 2. He's also going to give protection twice to his board, so I can't pop anything, but that's okay because I don't run anything that can KO. I don't have any KO effects in Purple Luffy, especially in my deck. So yeah, now he's buffed twice. He's going to swing and put the rest to the 2 Dawn. He's a 9k a 9k leader plus 4 Dawn. This is going to be a 13k swing, and it's fortunate because we're gonna have exactly enough with the Gum Gum Giant. So we tap the 1 Gum Gum Giant, Uso Hachi, and return 2, and then draw 2. Now, one of the most important things that's going on here is I've played an Uso Hachi, and I just gave an Uso Hachi up. That is a vital card in this matchup because I want to be able to rest Sabos at some point. So I don't feel great about giving up the fact that I've used 2 of 4, and it was in a capacity where not going for game. Because it would be great to be able to rest one of his Sabos, like right now, for example. Maybe not right now, but like have that down the line. Our hand is Nico Robin. We have a Nico Robin blocker, a Zoro Juro. So we don't have a lot of counter. We're going to swing the Uso Hachi into the card. Let's just clear that body just in case. We'll get some value out of this Uso Hachi. He has a decent amount of cards in hand and 2 Sabo blockers. We have 2 big swings, or well, 3 relatively big swings, but he's at a 9k leader. So it's going to be tough to kind of get over that. I'm trying to think of what I want to do. I believe I want to swing 10 with the Sanji because either he gives me a blocker or he gives me a 2k. And I'm just trying to whittle his hand down. That's the idea. If I give him, I feel like swinging 10 is better than 9 because he might give me a 2k. I mean, he could definitely give me a 1k. Maybe it was better to swing 9s, but that was the idea. We want to swing him so that way we can draw a card. He gives me the 2k. We have 6 standing, or maybe not 6 standing Dawn. We swing another 10, do the same exact thing. He gives me another 2k. So at this point, we're kind of being successful in whittling his hand. I'm glad he's not blocking with the Sabos because he can get cyclical with that. We're going to swing another 10, and he gives us another 2k. The last thing we're going to do is tap 2 for Nico Robin and pass with 1 Dawn standing for a Gum Gum Giant. I don't believe we have a Gum Gum Giant, but we kind of want to bluff that. We have a 2k Soba Mask, 1k Sangoro, and a brick in Zoro Juro. Now, here's where maybe playing the Nico Robin was kind of a mistake. I know how cyclical it gets. He can bring back the Egghead Luffy and pop it pretty easily and give it a draw off of it. He can't really pop it. He could pop it to Uso Hachi, but we don't care if he does that. That might have been a slight mistake, but maybe that forces him to use that Egghead Luffy rather than another Sabo instead of getting 4 Sabos out. You can see the manga Sabo he pulled out and the Egghead Luffy. So that's what he's going to do. Now he can fully awaken, do the Gecko play where he plays out the 2 babies and then becomes a 9k leader. So he pops the Nico Robin and he establishes a 3rd Sabo, a manga Sabo, so points to him. Style points for sure. And he's about to swing 11 somewhere. If he swings 11 into my big Luffy, I have a 2k counter for that. Anything else is probably going to have to die. He swings 11 into the Luffy Taro. I make sure, hey, you pointed to this one, right? Yeah, he did. So we're going to let that die. We don't have a Gum Gum Giant, but we're kind of threatening like we do have one. And he has this wall of Sabos. 3 of them. There's no way to, it's really hard to get around 3 Sabos. We do draw a Sanji though. That's one way around 1. I really like the fact that I got this Sanji because I'm able to rest a 6 cost on play. So I could rest one of the Sabos. Now is not the time for it though because he's got 3 and he's a 9k leader. So establishing that, I probably only can get 2 swings over 9k. And if I rest one, like it's just not going to work. He's just going to give me the Sabos and then he can just bring them back next turn with the Gecko. I'm thinking everything through. I'm thinking about swinging 10 again with the Songoro, but I'm definitely going to swing the Songoro because I want to draw a card. So that's what the thought process here is. We also want to keep some options open. I believe swing the minimum amount so we can keep our Dawn up and also draw a card and see what we get. So that's why we go with, I believe, a 9K swing over 10. See, I'm thinking it through. I'm thinking about doing 10 again, but I don't know. What should I do? Let's just swing 9. His hand's kind of getting smaller in size. So we swing the 9. He gives us a counter. A little surprised he's not using the Sabo blockers, but he's building an army of them. The fact that he didn't use them before, like I said, he can bring them back, but if he doesn't bring them back, he can just continually building an army of them. There's only one more in the deck, so there's that. Not again. I don't know how I'm gonna get over this wall. I have to keep kind of poking at him. If I lose board, like if I lose that 10 cost or that 10K Luffy, I'm probably cooked. So I have to make sure that no matter what I do, I can keep that alive. If he does the same play, which I think he'll do again, is the Gecko Luffy, like the Gecko play where he brings things back, I can counter out with a 2K, so I feel good about that. We play the Zorojuro. We don't grab much. We grab the Nami. We can't play the Nami. I wish we could play it, but it's at least a 1K counter. We didn't see any 2K counters, and we didn't see any Gum Gum Giants. I'm not sure what the best strategy here is. The only thing I can really swing is the 10 cost Luffy, but I did get the Usohachi off of some sort of draw, so I'm feeling really happy about that. Because now we have an option to rest. We have a way to go for game. We just passed with 3 Dawn up. We're kind of bluffing. We have a Gum Gum Giant, but maybe we'll get one out of life. He swings 9 into the 6. We're going to unfortunately have to let that Songoro die, but we did get a lot of value out of him. Now he starts poking us with 6s. I find this a little intriguing because he had this army of Sabos, but I get it because he's going to play over them and reestablish them with the next Gecko. But I'm at this point thinking, this might be a very interesting scenario where maybe we can rest with the Usohachi. We take the first one, because I don't want to have to eventually give the 2K. We give him a 2K Soba Mask, and now he has 1 Sabo standing that he can swing. He plays the Gecko, and he's going to do the same play he does. He's going to think it through a little bit, but it's going to be the same play where he's going to establish 2 Sabos. Or maybe it's not 2 Sabos, but he's going to do the same play where he's going to play 2 kids. He's thinking everything through. I believe at one point he accounts for the Usohachi, but yeah, he's going to play a Luffy and a Sabo. He's going to bring back the Egghead Luffy so we can pop that Zorojuro. Just take another swing off the board. A very strong play on his part. He's going, there we go. He pops, draws a card. And Sabo, draw 2, trash 2. He has 2 standing blockers, 11K swing, and let's just take... Now, here's what's interesting. He has 1 card in hand. And I have a play, if I can swing an 11 unblocked, I win. So I'm trying to think how I can do that. I look at my hand, and I have a Sanji that can rest 1 Sabo and an Usohachi that can rest another. That's going to take all 10 Dawn. And I can swing 10 with 10 with the big boy. But that's not enough. If he has a 2K, he's going to win. But we have it because we can ramp that Dawn we return back from the Sanji. This is an incredible play, in my opinion. I mean, a very lucky play, everything worked out. We play all 10 Dawn, we return the Dawn, we ramp it back. Now we can swing 11 for life. And he's a little bit stunned, I think, because this play came out of nowhere. He had this he's reading it just to make sure. I think he's a little bit stunned. But this was an incredible 10 Dawn play to win the game. It could only be done because he had 1 card in hand, and it was a 2K, so we needed every bit of that. Again, this is a very good opponent. Played him in round 1. My Kang XD, very good opponent, my good friend. But yeah, I think the ultimate takeaway here is I probably played it. I don't know if I played it wrong or I played it cautiously, like you should play against BY, which is kind of like don't swing your board until like you're ready to swing. Maybe I put a little bit pressure on maybe a turn early. Maybe I should have waited. But at the same time, I'm playing an aggressive deck, so I wanted to keep the aggression up. Yeah, and again, that last play, I think one of the main takeaways, I should be more careful with my Uso Hachis in this matchup. I was very fortunate to draw that third one. Seeing 2 already, like, I shouldn't have counted on him being back, but he showed up for work, so I love that. And the fact that we got to get that cool playoff for the game, that felt really good. Just a cool play. And yeah, that's about all I have. Let me know in the comments any tips or anything you've seen that I can improve on. To really appreciate it, and thanks.